Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. We continue our Star Wars Saturdays quarterly of fellowship. And we've spent a good deal of time before recording, hanging out, chatting, talking about Galaxy's Edge and PAX Unplugged and lots of other things and animals and mules. So we will just jump straight into a quick round of introductions and picking back up from where we had left off. I'll start from the right-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the left. So Greg, if you could introduce yourself, remind us about your character.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm using he, him pronouns as the Zop Books, our Rhodian bounty hunter, who has turned a new leaf and is protecting Darren from perhaps his poor impulses.
Perhaps. Good luck with that. Speaking of poor impulses, Kay, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about Darren.
Yeah, hi, I'm Kay of the She and They Variete, and I am playing Darren von Vorlock, our Vorin scion, who is right now being tugged between the dark and the light of the Force, and may make some interesting choices. We'll see.
I can't wait. Steven, please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, my name's Steven, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Nanta the Ewok, whose pronouns are also he, him. And Nanta's a little bit of a troublemaker and runs around getting into trouble and hoping everyone else can help him get out. Oh, and feeding people, yeah.
Sorry I caused trouble. Here's food. Last but certainly not least, who was Sir not appearing in this game session last week, but is here today. Cody, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Cody. I use the he, him pronouns. I'm playing Oron the Jedi, also uses he, him. Oron disappeared into the ground last time, it sounds like. So excited to find out just what happened down there. Oron is Jedi who he's kind of been walking his own path for a while. He goes where the Force wills him, and he's doing his best to do what he thinks is right wherever he ends up. And at the moment, that's in this sector, not leading, but advising perhaps the heir, Darren von Vorlock. And we'll see how that goes today.
Indeed, we shall. We begin where we last saw Oron. Oron, you were approaching this synth temple and have found Nanta was the first to find the remnants, the ruined hilts of old lightsabers. And then hands appeared from the ground like from a nightmare, grabbing at your body or on pulling you down into the depths. You had only a moment to wish well to your compatriots before you were drawn away from them. When your awareness returns, you're not encased in this coal dirt. You're standing in a cave. There is a bit of smoke wafting along the floor. The cave is, well, there's a passage that you're in. You look, there's nothing behind you, only this winding passage ahead of you. What do you do?
So, quick point of clarification. You mentioned that we were approaching a Sith temple. I know that is the case. I know this is a Sith temple.
Yes.
Okay.
The red, some of the sigils, probably things that you back in the temple of yourself, when you were raised, when you were a Padawan, you were taught the how to identify aspects of the Sith language. But of course, no one's taught how to read it or speak it, according to this.
That would be far too evil a thing to unleash that tongue again upon the galaxy. Oron is going to take from his belt a cracked kyber crystal pendant, and he's going to hold it close to his heart and recite a chant. I am one with the Force is with me. I'm going to mark off that use of an item. It allows me to remove a mark from one of my Elder Arts. Of course, that's the name for my Jedi Force powers.
Mhm.
I'm going to unmark Camouflage, and I'm going to oh boy, this is tough. I think Oron, he's been grabbed, whatever it is, wants him here and knows he's here. So he is going to do his best. Actually, I'm not going to unmark Camouflage, excuse me. He's going to do his best to know what's waiting for him. I'm going to unmark Keen Senses. And then I'm going to use the Keen Senses. I'm going to reach out with the Force. And the question I want to know is, the question about the surroundings is, what brought me here?
What brought you here is the spirit, the spirit of one who once used the Force in life, who has stepped on either side, the light and the dark.
Okay. With that, I'm going to feel a bit more, maybe bolstered, maybe more safe, actually, and proceed down this curving cave, this hallway tunnel shape. I'm gonna go where it leads me. Quite literally, the Force has put me somewhere, so I'm going to follow that path.
Indeed. You follow the path. Not long after walking through the smoke around a couple of corners, or the bends, you see it opens up a bit, and there is someone inside this opening. Oron, we know that you have a family. Tell us about your child.
My child. Well, they are a bright spark in a dark galaxy. They are the child I share with Versi Diamond, another advisor to the Warlocks. I believe they're young. They're probably no more than 2-3 years old at this point. And I think because of the nature of the relationship, they're also kept mostly secret. Perhaps they stay with Verzi's family.
Are they on this planet? Are they on Warlock? Or are they somewhere else
so.
because of the problems? Okay.
I think they're on Warlock because we kind of left the planet to fix these problems. We didn't have the time or the ability to kind of get them somewhere safer. It was better to be safe and unknown than to be known and potentially in an unsafe place. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes total sense. Do you imagine that Versi left your child, the child that the two of you had together, in the royal household, or far away from all of that?
Far away from all of that. Yeah, absolutely. There might be some distant relatives of Versi's, or maybe even not that distant. Maybe Versi, she's not royalty herself. She's an advisor, but she's come up through other means. And perhaps, a close cousin is still yet, kind of more a not poor, but a more salt of the earth folk, and the baby's there, or the child's there, right?
Does Darren know of this?
No. No, not at all.
Okay.
The only one who knows is Nanta, I believe, in fact.
Nice.
At least the family, the baby. I think Zop, Darren, enough people have seen Versi and Oron close together. You know, that relationship is known.
I think from what it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I just want to make sure I'm correct here. So it sounds like Versi hid the pregnancy, like did not let people outside of immediate family know, because, and then like it sounds like you've been close around on the ship, but your relationship prior to the ship wasn't known either.
Yeah, well, you know, that's that I prior to the ship. I think even prior to the ship, people knew that we were close. Because we were both functioning in advisor capacities to the family. And so, but it was probably thought of, oh, you know, what's going on there? Nothing. Yeah. So I think you guys, I think before this, there's a known closeness, but maybe not that close.
Yeah,
And
you just mutual advisors with similar thoughts about how to deal with certain things. Makes sense. Okay. Vibes.
Very cool. Very cool.
you kind of sprung this on me, Rich. I didn't have any of this thought out.
It's okay, man. No worries at all. No worries at all. So when you enter this opening, you see that there is in the center this figure. Boop, boop, doo. Oh, up, and I'll share screen so you can take a look at them. This person. This is obviously a mask. They are fully clothed. They are humanoid. It is difficult to tell much else about them. They look at you, their arms out. You see that they have a lightsaber at their belt. It is not drawn. It has not been ignited.
Are you the one who brought me here?
I am.
Why have you done so?
You are the only one of your little band that matters.
Matters how?
You have the power to change things.
And so you wish for me to change them, or you wish for me to not?
You have had this power in the past, but did not wield it.
Do I understand what this might be referring to? Is this something I...
Well, we do know that Oron went on a walkabout and then Order 66 happened.
Right.
So you get the inkling that that is what this being is implying.
And so you bring me down here to prevent me from taking those steps, or to put me on a path to do just that? What is it you seek, and to who am I speaking?
Nice.
Is this
yes?
perhaps triggering speak softly with someone who admires or fears me? It seems like they have some sort of...
It certainly seems that this move has been triggered, so please do.
All right, so I'll be
softly.
Yep, triggering my way with words, my Jedi custom move. When I speak softly with someone who admires or fears me, I can roll with grace instead of wisdom, and I may always ask, what do they desire most, regardless of the result of my roll. Now I got to find the safety and roller tab. Man,
it's way over.
Yeah, a lot of sheets in this bad boy. Here we go.
Heard you like tabs, so I put tabs near your tabs.
right. And now I'm going to be doing 2d6 plus 2, I believe is my...
That is correct.
Okay. Here we go. An 8.
An 8. So you automatically get the question of what they want of you, because you have a way with words. What do they desire most? Sorry, what do they desire most? But if you check the move reference tab, it has the other questions to speak softly on column G.
And one of their answers is not helpful with an 8. So it's a 9 minus. One of their answers is not helpful. Either they refuse to answer, or they reveal a terrible truth you didn't want to hear, their choice. So first, I want to know, what should I be wary of when dealing with them?
This will be the answer that baby is a terrible truth you don't want to hear. They have fallen to the dark side, and they are your child.
Well, okay. What do they want, and how could I help them get it?
They want for you to free Vorlock and themselves from their imprisonment.
Okay. And how can I help them get it?
The stillness, its source is here. That is what the Empire wants. But the stillness is also how the people have power. They want you to take it away because there are other powers.
Wait, they want me to take it away because there are other powers. They want me to take
the stillness away from here so the Vorlock is no longer under threat, no longer important to the Empire.
Okay. Is this Rich? Is this answering the what do they desire most as well? Is that kind of in your mind?
Kind of package the two together. Sorry,
those
those
two
questions are relatively close in my mind.
No, for sure. Okay. I'm gonna ask, what can you tell me about what's happened to you? How did you come to be in this place?
I am here because one day you will betray me. This is a path you have not yet walked. And then they reach for their lightsaber and ignite it. Like a snap of their wrist, and the red blade lurches forward and hums malevolently. And unlike your blade, it hums steady, like an angry heartbeat.
Okay. Oh boy.
They take a step forward towards you. Will you choose, or will you walk away again?
Matos, I didn't walk away. I hold up a hand, leaving my saber on my belt. I don't know what has led to this twist of fate that you stand before me now. But you say it yourself, I have not yet done what you think I have done. And I would never put you on this path.
They raise the saber, and you can feel the energy as it comes. And they bring it closer, closer to your face. You let her die. I tried to bring her back. This was the cost that you would not pay.
We cannot undo that which the Force has willed.
And they divert, but you feel the lightsaber cut your cheek. It burns. Pull the lightsaber back, and they slide into one of the styles that you were taught. Say it. Say it. Say that your attachment doesn't matter. That your love for us doesn't matter. Say it.
I have never and will never lie to you, Matos. I cannot say that.
They bring the lightsaber around. They're going to strike you down. What do you do?
Oh boy. Here's a question.
Uh-huh.
Do I have my wolf with me? truly, Kay, I guess I'll just die. That's how I feel right now.
I think you do, because we didn't see the wolf anywhere else. We didn't see the wolf disappear either. So your loth wolf walks paths that no others walk.
Is Freya, is she reacting to this figure in any way that would tell me anything?
I think she's growling. You're being threatened. It looks like you're about to be killed. Freya wants to leap to your defense.
Okay.
She's your companion, does she?
Yeah, it was, I guess, a question of how if she is reacting to it, is there a clue that maybe this is a vision and thus not real? And if she's not reacting to it, that informs me of that. But
well, hold on. I think you are perhaps looking closely here.
Yes, of course. I always look closely before I start making weird decisions. All right, look closely is a roll plus sense.
Yes.
My sense is +3.
You became very sensible here. So let's see if it pays off.
Oh, you know what? I realized I actually rolled a 10 on my questions because I added my modifier to the name of the roll and not the modifier. So that's silly of me.
Well, I'm sorry. That hard truth stands.
Yeah, and I like it. It's fine. So this one I did get a 7 on.
Okay,
so on a 7
plus 3 questions.
3 questions from the list. Okay. Is something hidden or out of place? If so, what looks suspicious?
Ooh, that's good. And you're already using your companion for that, which is cool. By the way, with companion roles, couldn't you have like burned that companion bond to give yourself hope here for that? No, you don't. I don't want you to retroactively do anything. I'm just
Honestly, I don't even. Yeah, hope is the rolling with advantage thing. Is that a thing you do? You use? Oh yeah, because I have 2 bond for companion. Yeah, I think that is how that works. I'm not going to do
think so
it.
too. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Cool. Well,
oh
it's
yes,
fine.
that's right.
You got a 7. It's all good. Anyway, I just
Thanks for
mostly
highlighting,
like
Greg. I see. I see you in the sheet.
Pick Hunter. Sorry, Pitch Hunter. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
to circle back to answering the question, which is something hidden or out of place? If so, what looks suspicious? Of course, this is Matos as an adult.
Mhm.
So if this is true, then this is the Matos of a future that has not yet happened. You've already worked that out. But Matos is fighting with the style that you would have taught him.
Okay. Okay. Uh, here's a big one, Rich. What is going on here? What do my senses tell me? What is going on that has placed me and future son in the same spot?
Uh, at this moment, your allies, Zop and Nanta and Darren, have the cage that holds the stillness in their hands. And they are leaving with it. This test from your son is to see if you would choose himself and his mother over the will of the Force.
So, do I to be clear about it? The choice in that he is presenting me is choosing to release the stillness, and that is choosing them. Is that correct, or is it the opposite? Okay.
Yeah, choosing to release the stillness, choosing to pull the stillness away from Varlock is choosing them. Keeping the stillness here so that the people of Varlock will remain as they are with the powers that they have will be holding Verzi and Matos in danger.
Okay. All right. And then my last question. What will happen if I do not act? What will happen if I let Matos's blade come at me?
You will not die, but you will wear the scar on your cheek.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So with all of that, I think Oron, with his incredible senses, I mean, come on, +3. What are we talking
Very
about here?
sensible. He's the most sensible guy on the planet.
Yeah.
Maybe the galaxy.
Maybe not. Hey, you know what? Maybe not sensible, but definitely sensitive. And he is being cut in twain right now. He looks to Freya, and I think he holds a kind of a hand up and calms her. And he looks at Matos and he says, "Take that thing off your face. Let me get a look at you."
Nice. And there is a moment of hesitation. He does not strike you down. He does not extinguish the lightsaber, but he reaches up and you hear a hiss. He reaches across, you hear another hiss. He takes the faceplate and he pulls it down, and you see the yellow eyes on the face of an... It could be you. But there's just a hint, perhaps around his mouth, that reminds you of Versi as well. He's unshaven, gaunt, angry. And then he starts to fade.
Before he can fully fade, I try to hug him.
Nice. You move and you pass completely through him. And then bam, you're standing in front of the temple alone. And when you look around, Freya's there. And near Freya is a speeder bike.
I kind of look at Freya, have that unspoken thought pass between us, and go to the speeder bike, take it, and push on.
Nice. We jump forward to, you guys had left the temple, Darren, Zop, Nanta. You have, yes, you left on speeder. Where were you going? Back to the ship?
Yeah, we're getting out of here.
The Diligent Spark. The plan is to leave the planet. You had left behind a speeder bike in hopes that Oron could rejoin you. And as you guys arrive, your crew is preparing this ship to go. You're going through all the pre-flight checks. The pilot is Cherdal, if you recall. So, Cherdal calls as you guys are coming closer over the comms to you. The gangplank or the hatch is lowered, and you're able to fly right up into the hold. And as you guys are talking about if you're going to leave now or wait, you see the speeder bike coming, and Oron is rejoining you.
I think, Oron, you see like one hand clenched into a fist at Darren's side and an arm wrapped around that sort of triangular thing clutched against his chest.
Show us the triangular thing, Greg! Light it up, Greg! Yeah!
And Darren's face is his normal pallor, but like his neck and everything down is gold.
Then I have come at just the right time. I get off the speeder bike. I'm sorry I was not there. You found this in the temple then?
Yes, I believe that's where it was. He looks like Nantan's up because he got it at the edge, but
Yes. And we almost destroyed it, but we weren't quite able to, so maybe it's best if we...
able's the wrong word. Chose not to.
What has your experience been with this thus far?
It is tied to my people.
Tied how? Darren, what does it do with your people?
It contains supposedly a relic or not of a Jedi long ago, or I guess a Force wielder. I don't know if they're technically Jedi. And their understanding of the Voron's power and their magics in the stillness. I simply know that when it was force trapped, it caused great pain and gold. Supposedly, according to a new ally, perhaps, if I open it, it will give great power to my people. But it could also release a level of emotional turmoil they are not yet prepared for.
Zop, Nanta, What do you know of this?
Nanta kind of shrugs and ushers everyone like towards where the galley is and starts pulling out food.
It is Sith. We must destroy it.
Darren, I'm inclined to agree with Zop. Do you think if we open it and if we destroy it, are the same? Is it the same? If we destroy it, will that release what is inside? Or will it? What do your senses tell you, Darren?
Yeah, can I sort of close my eyes as I clutch this bad boy close and attempt to yeah, I guess, yeah, look closely, I think, at this with my sort of mind's eye to figure out if this will what it will do. So that's going to be Darren's sense. I have a bad feeling about this. Okay, flat 0. I up that, so it's not a thing. Darren. So a 2d6. Let's see what happens. A 10.
Nice.
Wow, Darren, look at you being sensible. Good boy. When you close the exam situation or location, roll 10 on a 10. Ask 3 questions. Yeah, just straight up. What do my senses tell me about if this is destroyed or opened? Is it different?
What? I'm looking at the questions like
That's what do my senses tell me, but with the specific flavoring, hopefully, of like, is the same thing as destruction or opening.
Cool. So what your senses tell you about this age of the stillness is that if that it is the source of power that all of the people of Warlock have access to. It is how they it is the stillness. This is the focus. This is the avatar of that power. That's what your senses tell you. That if the cage is broken, then that focus, everything will dissipate. It can't be taken away. But then your people will change. And the Empire will see Vorlok and all the people of Vorlok as important enough to continue their siege. Unrelenting. The Zygarians are slavers. The Vorloki, the Vorlons will be incredibly valuable to the Empire. Not as soldiers, but as batteries.
Tell me about triangle thing. How could it hurt me? How could it help me?
The triangle thing, the source of this power, it could, if you continue to develop it, if you hold it dear, it could be a source of power for you. If you continue in the stillness, you could become incredibly powerful. But it's not meant for one person. It will be difficult, like riding a bucking bronco, oddly enough, for something called the stillness. Tempting. Think how perfect the galaxy would be if nothing changed. If nothing moved.
Rich, why? Um, um, what will what? Hmm. Is there something hidden about it? Like, is there something that might not be known or not realized that I could realize in this moment?
I feel like I don't know. I don't think there's anything
Okay, no, that's
more. Yeah, I don't think there's anything more.
okay. And just to clarify, because I got a little lost in the sauce of very interesting descriptions, is it the same if it's destroyed or just opened?
If it is open, then it is no longer caged. If it is caged,
Yeah.
it can be taken, it can be moved, it can be hidden away. If you destroy the cage and the cage is the triangle, right? Then the
Right, yeah.
stillness becomes one with Vorlok and the people of the Vorlons. Right?
And
Are we
it's
going with Vorlons or are we going with Vorlaki?
Vorens.
Vorens?
Vorens.
Vorens. Write it down.
So
Rich.
it is the same
Right.
thing. If it is a cage, you open the cage, the thing gets out. You destroy the cage, the thing gets out. It is
Yeah,
the same.
exactly. That's
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
You destroy
Cool.
the cage, you can't put it back in.
You can't put it back in.
If you open the cage, it gets out. That's the only difference.
Yeah, and opening seems to be something that would make the people more powerful, but which would also make them more in danger.
Correct.
Mhm. Yeah, so you watch as I think Darren's entire eyes kind of at first glaze over gold, and then I think they glaze with that same shine, that like orange color that the little box seemed to give over, completely taking over for a minute as he watches his lips move as if asking those questions, but you guys hear nothing, and he sort of blinks the color out of his eyes. There are paths. If we destroy it, if we release it, it will grant power to my people, but it will endanger them more. I don't know if they are ready for it.
Versi enters the room. That we need to make a decision quickly. There are Imperial forces on the way.
Versi, my sister, how, when you left, was she all right?
She was no longer in pain, and the matron has left. She's safe.
Good.
Destroy it.
And why do you say that?
This artifact is not of the light. It may have provided something here to the people. The ability to cage their emotions for a time, but that is not natural. The force is not meant to be caged. No matter how it affects you, emotions are not meant to be. You're not meant to never feel. You're meant to withstand that push and pull. It is not about never experiencing attachment. It is about managing that attachment and not falling with it. It will bring danger to the Vorians. I understand. The Empire is already a danger.
Rich just wants to take a moment to make sure that we're on the same page, because I know I've gone a little metaphysical and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we're clear. My perception of what Oron is urging Darren to do is the opposite of what Matos said he wants you to do.
Oh, I thought it was the same thing. I thought Matos wanted it opened.
No, he wants it away. Take it away so he and his mother and his people will be safe.
And what was it that Chevelsa wanted in the last session?
Opened.
Did she want it opened or did she want it away?
She wanted it opened.
I'm sorry. I realized I've answered like 1,000 move questions and I still made it confusing. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
that's all right. I think that was honestly it was my feeling even before meeting Spooky Future Son that this should be destroyed or opened because of the containing the Force, in my view.
Oh yeah.
And so I think yeah, even with that clarity, Oron's still going with that. The thing about prophecy is you try and beat it and you just go into it. And so he can't just do that. He can't just take this and run away when he already feels what should happen here. So that's what Oron says. Oron says that, and then he looks longingly at Versi.
She seems a little confused at first, but she trusts your instincts, and now she's a little worried.
Do I get the vibe that if I don't open it now while we're on the planet, like that's it? Can it be opened at a different point and still have the same effects?
That's really interesting. I had not considered that. I think you will lose that opportunity. That it will be released wherever you release it, that becomes effectively its home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that Nanta, while serving food and all of that, says the Empire came to my home, and they came close to destroying my people. And only through the group here, the rebellion, did my people survive. If I had the chance from my people, I would take this away so that the Empire would leave my people alone. And there's a good chance, if we understand things correctly, you can always come back and release it if things go well. But if we draw attention to your planet from the Empire, it might be good for us as a distraction, but I think it would be bad for your people, like it was bad for mine.
I don't think they're ready. They all don't feel so much.
Can your sister make them ready? Lead them partly along the path so that when we return, we can destroy it and they can be ready? Oron, does this need to be destroyed now?
I feel that if we delay, this inaction will only cause us more trouble. I think putting off this hard choice to a better time, there will never be a better time.
Will it cause us more trouble versus causing them more trouble? Because I will bear the brunt on my shoulders if it protects my people.
I don't have the answers. We can never know without a shadow of a doubt what will happen.
Versi.
Yes.
My advisor advise.
She looks to you, Oron, for a moment and says,
Not him. You're my advisor. Stop looking to him. I know you bond over mutual thoughts of my betterment, but I need your mind on this.
we need to flee. We must take this object and flee. It will keep all of our people safe. And then she glances over to you, Oron, with the all of our people safe.
You must make a choice, Darren.
Can we get a communication to my sister?
Yes.
Tell her to ready our people to start understanding and embracing the gold instead of fearing it for when I come back. They will hold their birthrights, but for now, I will carry that burden for my people.
Nice. Nice. Then with that decision made, do we jump forward to you guys attempting to leave the planet? Great. That's not going to be easy, friends, as the Star Destroyers in orbit above you have positioned themselves to be able to intercede as you leave atmosphere. There are already TIE fighters in space waiting for you. They come over the comms, ordering you to surrender.
Yeah, Zap's not listening.
Yeah.
He's just gonna start shooting. Um,
That sounds awesome. Cool. So let's take a look at our Diligent Spark tab. You guys have on the ship, you have a cannon of 1, an engine of 2, and a hull of 0. So this is not a gigantic fighting machine that you bring to bear, but that's okay. I'm sure it will work out. Your weapons are ready. The cannons determine the ship's firepower and strength. When you roll plus cannon, you must spend 1 ammo from the ship's gear. You currently have 3 ammo.
I would like to invoke something we haven't done yet.
Ooh.
I would like to do Bound in Service. When you call upon an allied companion for help, you may damage one of their stats.
Yay! Damaging stats is a thing that we do.
I would like to damage one of Oron's stats.
Ooh.
Stop. What are you doing to me?
It's pick on a friend day.
I'm trying to break bonds because it's cool when you get to reforge them.
Okay.
What does that look like? I'm really into this.
I want Oron to help guide my fire. To steady my arm. And I think, it's the bond is that that we duel on occasion. And I just call down to Oron, I need help. There's so many of them.
Yeah, Oron runs up to the turret station or the gun station or whatever we have, and he puts a hand on Zop's shoulder, and he's just kind of repeats, he's breathe. This is nothing you haven't done before.
Nice. They are flying towards you like you're headed into a swarm of locusts. There are dozens upon dozens of TIE fighters between you and your attempt to leave.
Uh, can I try something as well?
Well, first let's have Zop was breaking the bond to effect a roll, correct? You
Yes,
were
yeah,
breaking
to-
that bond.
To
So
do weapons ready. Yep.
great. Let's have you weapons ready then. Roll plus cannon, and it sounds like breaking the bond. You were doing that to roll in hope, correct? Or to
Yes.
okay, and roll 3d6. You get to add 1 to the best 2 of those results.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure I got everything right there. Hey, I'm so glad we did that. Okay, 6, 9, 10.
Well, that was smart of you. You did a good, smart thing. So with a 10 on a 9 okay. So on a 7 plus, you destroy the obstacle in your path. Oh, cool. So I think what we see is much more abstracted, right? It's not a tit for tat, more conventional style RPG. It's broader. There were a bunch of TIE fighters coming your way. You working in concert with Oron to try to clear the path.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like as you guys gonna punch a hole in this TIE fighter defense trying to disable the ship?
So Zop is, until Oron gets there, right? Zop is shooting wildly, leading targets, getting a few. And then as Oron puts his hand on Zop's shoulder, Zop turns and starts to shoot into this random spot. It doesn't look like it's going to do much of anything. And it as he does, the TIE fighters all change, and then he quickly turns, hits one, and then it's like almost like dominoes. One gets hit, twirls into another one, it explodes, one shoots off a missile, it curves around, hits another one, and it's just like the perfect, beautiful moment. It was the one shot that just causes a chain reaction.
Nice.
They're scattered, and Zop just screams, "Punch it!" down to Churdal.
Cool. The diligent spark charges forward. They're of course trying to bring the. Yeah, I don't think they have a gravity well generator, but they are trying to tractor beam. This is a very large ship, so you may be able to shake free. Darren, as the captain, what are you doing? What would you like to do?
Yeah, if I can go over comms to like the broadcast towards the ships, I would love to mess around with yes, my liege. So when you issue a command to someone below your rank, they'll do it immediately, no questions asked. Someone below your rank is if they are of your people, if they are a companion, or if they serve or follow someone who has shown you royal treatment. You never need to talk sense to someone who is below your rank. When you give a command that directly harms the person you give the command to, they can become immune to this move forever, however. I think it's just something along the lines of, because these people have shown royal treatment to him. Essentially, they have given deference to him from the previous, coming down. So I think he just goes over and he sort of says, if you know what is right and of the people of this planet, you will move out of our way and let us through. And it probably won't affect everyone, but maybe some of the TIE fighters or some of the people kind of react to that.
Yeah, I think there will be a lessening of the resistance, but unfortunately, there are still a good number of the reserves, right? Because if you remember, the main Imperial admirals are down on planet at the moment because of the party. So this is like
Yes.
the beta team, and yeah, so I think what that will do is they'll give you, if you wish, you can attempt to roll with hope. I think it would be interesting to me because we currently have a companion in Engines Prime, but you guys need to maneuver through or escape from danger here.
Yeah.
So why don't you roll 4 Churdal to get away with plus engine. So Churdal is doing it for you, but you roll the dice.
Okay. What is our plus engine modifier? Is there a modifier?
2.
Okay. So it's 2d6 plus 2.
It's 3d6 plus 2 because
Oh,
of
3d6
you're
plus help.
using my liege. It's giving them a moment of hesitation, and you're able to punch through to try to get out of here.
Okay. 4, 7, 8. So it's a 9.
Yay! The perfect one. So get away is the move that you have engaged. And when you need to get somewhere out of reach or out of sight, with a 7 to 9, you get to choose one. That's on column D of the move reference. Do you want me to read out the options, or do you see it?
Yeah, I'm looking. Choose one. I think you get there quickly, avoiding any harm along the way.
Get there quickly, avoiding any harm along the way. Cool. Okay, great. So the shields hold as Churdal uses your opportunity that you have bought for the crew, and you guys are positioned to jump to light speed. Is there any last moment? Oh, we have a cat in arms getting love there.
Maybe.
Nanta, where are you just before they jump to light speed? What are you doing?
I think I'm in the galley and I'm putting things away and I hear the hollering I hear things firing. I run up to the bridge where Churdal is, you know, trying to maneuver us out. So I'm kind of looking out the viewport, about what's going on. And I'm, shouting and jumping up and down, like, look out for that one. And yeah.
Nice. Cool. Then, boom, the Diligent Spark jumps to light speed, leaving the planet and your people. We jump to a scene on a superstar destroyer. Now, remember, in orbit around Von Warlock were Star Destroyers. This is a super Star Destroyer. And Kay, if you're wondering what's the difference, it's bigger and has more impressive background music playing when it's first introduced. It's also a more expensive toy. So we cut there, and then we see the bridge of the Superstar Destroyer. There on the bridge, wearing his white imperial garb, festooned with medals showing his rank. Before he was a moth and an admiral, now he is the warlord of the empire, is Zinj. And we see the pale blue flickering image of a hollow of one of the admirals who was down at the party on Von Warlock, the Chrysos party. He has composed himself, this admiral, and is reporting to Warlord Zinj. My liege, unfortunately, the temple that was unveiled, that Matron Chevelza, who has we have been unable to locate her, but the device has been found, but unfortunately was found by Darren von Warlock, and he and his crew on their ship were able to abscond with the device. We have a specially composed by John Williams mix of the Imperial Barch, but it's a lot more foreboding. It's all in darker keys. So we see Zinj. Well, your disappointing news. It's not completely unexpected. Go ahead and come back home. You, of course, will be replaced and summarily executed, but your family will remain whole as long as you return to Coruscant. Return to Sereno. We will place a few bounties on the head of Darren von Warlock. I will have that device. Dismissed. And with that, we will jump to you guys on the Diligent Spark. You have made it away from the planet. You have the stillness with you. Where do you wish to go?
I figured we were heading back to the flotilla.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that seems. I think that seems right to head to the fleet.
Yeah, so we just pick up with you guys arriving at the flotilla. The rebellion itself I guess you guys will come to meet Captain Rex, your rebel leader.
How about if we have Captain Rex join us on the diligence
Ooh.
arc, and we're going to serve a meal, basically. The thing I'd like to do with this is forge a bond. Is that right? I
Nice.
think
Yeah,
that's
let's
one of
have
the
you
things
forge
we
a
can do,
bond.
which is spend some time going over what we did and what we've shared together. Does that mess up anyone else's thing as
Mm-mm.
far as like
No, that's definitely what I was picturing. Like
okay, good.
sharing a meal.
I think this isn't an official debrief that will be done or has been done. This is the, planning and what we're going to do talking to Rex.
Cool. So is there any more color, or are you able to just do the bond?
So I think we can go through color if you'd like. I just don't want to take up too much time. But basically I think that what this looks like is I serve some of the foods that we came back from Vorlock. And this is, I think everybody has, for dessert, they have that little snow cone ice cream kind of thing. And some of the spices and some of the foods that we got while there, things that are more tropical. And I think that whenever Rex comes in, Nanta kind of looks at him and says, big trouble, big trouble. Sit down, we'll tell you.
Nice. Well, cool. I don't know. Like, I like Captain Rex, but I don't know, having you regurgitate what you just did to him
Sure.
is
Yeah.
a good scene, or like a productive scene. So what I'm going to do is share with you guys the document of fellowship. So you have saved Barlock, and as a reward, you get to choose one of the fellowship moves that Vorlok has to offer. I'm going to share this document in our Zoom chat, and I'll have you guys look that over. I'll pause the recording so you can look it over, and I'm gonna take a quick bio, and anyone else who wants to can as well. Excellent. We're back. I've shared the fellowship moves. There's been a brief bit of discussion, but we're also hoping to talk about where you're headed next so that it helps with the decision of which fellowship move you take.
So we have ties to Dathomir. I think if we had a long, as if this isn't a long game, if we had a longer game, I would say like Zygeria and then say Dathomir is like the final battle. But I think Dathomir is the place to go.
Okay. I'm also good with Dathomir. That's kind of how I figured we were going.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Okay. So the ancestral spirit seems to sort of protect Warlock. Is that am I understanding
That's
that
where
right?
yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
And then the dedicated to the cause increases our forces.
Yep. Which we are very low on.
And then we have snipers, which it looks like we would get bonds with.
I'm fixing the spelling of things. Sorry. For some reason, it was stuck in my head as Varlocks, but it's Varans.
Yeah. I would lean dedicated to the cause, only because I think the idea that we've left Warren and with it we've kind of taken the interest the Empire has of it, so now it's easier for the small army to join the fight, as it were. And not necessarily, the siege tank is cool, the snipers are cool. I feel like the ancestral spirits kind of doesn't fit because we didn't. I think because
if we had opened it there, I
Yeah.
think ancestral spirits would be the best pick.
Yep.
But I agree. I think dedicated to the cause, because they're drawn off, I think there are forces on Vorlock that could contribute now.
Yeah, that's my vote as well.
The Darren and me wants ancestral spirits because I just want to protect my peoples. But I like the, I don't know, snipers get me in my cold little dead heart. I love snipers. Where are you
well,
feeling?
let's- I was thinking mostly that I love the siege tank, but if we're going to Dathomir, it might not do us any good. That's why I asked that question. The
Oh, I have a question, mechanical question, Rich. This seems to be, these moves seem to be specific to Vorlock. Whenever we go through another process, will there be a different set of moves?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, every time you go to a location and kind of solve their problem, they become a new base of operations. They offer you different fellowship moves, and you can choose from them.
So sieges are very effective against Dathomir. That's the intel we have. We have to cut them off their supplies. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily what the siege tank does. But I mean, I think
it
if
could
we
certainly
take
help.
the small
Yeah.
army, like if we post up and don't cut off their supply lines with the small army, that could be our opening move.
I especially like the idea. So I think, Greg, you were saying that you like the idea of cutting off the Dathomir siege with a small army. Is that right?
Yeah, they're susceptible to siege. They're not under siege right now.
Okay.
They
I was going to say,
yeah.
I like the interaction of the Vorlons being introduced to the Dathomirian because the matron and Darren had a conversation about what that relationship's like.
Right.
Especially if they came back in a protector form so that they weren't as susceptible to siege and could get more supplies in.
So the weakness of the Empire on Dathomir is the siege. The Empire itself has limited supplies, so we need to siege them.
Yep.
We need to siege the Empire
I
to take
see.
advantage of it, and then we could, free the Dathomir or whatever if they're under of course, they're under the Empire's heel. That's how it works. So I mean, a small army can help do a siege, but I also think that's probably what the siege tank is for. I mean, is having that kind of like ready to go. And since we know I've been convinced, I think the siege tank, if we're going to Dathomir, we know the weakness of it. We should probably bring something that just like gets that win, because we need the win.
True. Also, I'm not gonna lie, as much as untrained and poorly armored just really doesn't fit well with my heart. Although I also really enjoyed the sentence. It is said that Vorlock snipers never miss. That was the TM starter Rich. But I think the siege tank, if a siege is what we need, makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so keeping in mind our loving nod to the prequels, is this a converted ATTE from like the Clone Wars? Is this something that we get requisitioned, or is this something that's like one of the? I'm trying to find my droid tanks. I know there's a complete cross section of those somewhere. Just flavor wise, does it have one of the big wheels, or the droid gunship?
Yeah, you guys. Oh,
Can't see that.
Camera does not work.
I bet it's cool.
Yeah, feel free to color this how you like. I'm very interested in. I'm here for it.
So we got 2 votes siege tank, 3 votes siege tank, 4 votes. We're good with siege tank?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we pop that into the
Fellowship? There's a fellowship tab.
We put it in the fellowship, not the rebellion.
The earned fellowship tab.
Earned fellowship tab. Oh, I see. Oh,
You can. You can stick it other places, but that's what that tab's supposed to be for. This is why I started trying to scroll on your screen share of that website.
What?
I
keep
see.
Sharing
Here
the
we
wrong
go.
screen. What the heck? All right. I'll just send a link in the chat.
Just send a link. Just link it.
Just
and
link
Greg,
it.
you've deleted everything.
You're a bad sharer.
Greg, you've deleted the secret weapon. Have you already added it? Is that why? Okay.
Oh, what?
You're
I didn't
you're
mean to
all,
do that.
you're all out of
Okay.
sorts, brother.
I'm all out of sorts. I'm all out of sorts.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
You're-
So the secret weapon is that the name of a move that we put in here or no? You know what I mean?
Secret weapon is one of its stats. We get to check it.
Oh, you talking about the
Invoke
heavy?
it.
Oh, this droid gunship? That's what you were wanting for the siege? That's crazy. I love it.
And I like that it's kind of like attached to the bottom of our Clone Wars diplomatic vessel.
So
We
whenever
come in peace. Wah, 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 wah.
So whenever I did a search for tanks, I came up with like a Clone Wars tank, but I
Oh,
have to admit I like the look of the droid gunship a lot better.
Oh yeah, I remember those. That's what they use in against the Wookiees.
Yeah.
What about the attack on the Wookiees? Whatever the damn line is. God damn it.
I like the idea of having the droid gunship attached to the bottom of our.
I will
diplomatic
accept
vessel.
this only if the droid gunship is an autonomous collective that refers to itself as we.
I love it, and I love that it's a droid and totally not susceptible to the Force. Aha!
Nope,
Aha!
it
Take
ignores
that,
your
bitch!
force. Ignores your force. I don't care.
All right. I think I'm doing it correctly in the earned fellowship tab. If I'm not, just kick me out of the group, I guess.
Okay. So you have chosen your fellowship move. Congratulations. I think that's a fun little thing, but it also is a bit. So thank you for going through it. And just looking at time, I'm not like, is anyone have any like pocket scenes? I don't want to introduce anything big.
I have a couple of pocket scenes I want to throw out real fast, super
Oh, yeah.
fast. So the first one is as soon as we're back in the ship and we're getting ready to travel to Dathomir, before we even hit hyperspace, Oron's going to come to Darren and say, for as long as you hold this, you need to be prepared. Your training begins now. And he's going to take the device, put it on a shelf, and like start
Ooh.
teaching Darren how to meditate, like really get into it.
I don't think Darren lets you separate it from him. I think he will meditate, like he will do the thing, he will train, but that thing's fucking like baby Bjorn to his chest for the rest of time until he opens it on Vorlok.
I caution you, Darren, that seems dangerous. Given what I've seen of you going gold and just holding the device not days ago on your own planet, you will do as you please, but with my advisement, and I would advise you to ready yourself to carry it like you must. We are on the ship. It is safe here. Put it aside and give yourself focus.
Okay, yeah, I think no shelf. It has to be within like eyesight line.
It's a start.
But it's a start. He will, in only those moments in this training with you, let it down.
Cool. And then another so yeah, Oron's taking a much firmer hand in starting to get you kind of familiar with the Force and more centered. Oron also goes to Zop, and he has his saber in his hand and he says, Zop, ready your blade. I need to get better. I need to be sharper.
And Zop doesn't even like go for his vibro rapier. He just immediately pulls out a dagger out of a spot you didn't even know and goes right for your throat.
Perfect. Yeah.
Before you're able to realize you do.
Perfect. Yeah. Those are just the scenes I wanted.
That's great.
Um,
Steven, yeah, what you got?
Yeah.
I wanted to add bonds from the debrief that we had with Rex.
Yes, the meal. Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't necessarily have to play that out. Like, for instance, I think I'll add a bond with Darren that Darren has made the difficult decisions needed to protect their people and so on. That gives us more ability to break bonds and do things like that to show how we have not necessarily turned on each other, but how we have the strength in order to do what's needed to be done. Yeah. I'm not sure I worded that well, but yeah.
I get it. I think it's good.
I would like to redo my bond with Nanta, because I think over the course of hearing, our adventures on Varlock, I realized that Nanta is ready, to become a member of the Tenwa clan if he desires it. So I'm gonna do that. Nanta is worthy of becoming a clan member. But there needs to be an edge to that bond. Stephen, any suggest like you're worthy of becoming one, but you must face a trial first, or
Must be accepted by the other members.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
By another member, and that gives the Overlord somebody to introduce on Dathomir, I suppose.
And what I'm going to put down is Zop treats me as a brother now.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Nice. Oh. What about Darren? Are there any pocket
Yeah.
scenes you wanted to?
I think there, are two pocket scenes.
Okay.
Obviously, he had the one with Oron. I think there is a scene with him and Nanta because Oron very much believes that Nanta like understands the darker side of it, I suppose, in terms of fighting. And sort of very much like hero worships the idea of the fighting ways of the tiny bears. And I think he kind of goes to Nanta and he's like, I need you to train me in the ways of your people as well.
So I think we see like a little montage of like this is literally like wrestling. There's a ring and it's vicious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We both bleed. And I think the other scene is I think we see in the captain's quarters room, the bedroom where Darren is, as he's sort of almost curled, kind of fetal with just a little bit of space between himself in his bed at night. Like he's pushed, there's like some sweat on his brow, and he has pushed the blankets off. And in that little space that he is curled around is this triangle.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
As he is keeping this thing so very close and sealed to himself, basically, and he is trying to ride that booking bronco.
So mechanically, does that mean Darren could forge a bond with the stillness cage?
Oh,
I think yes, you sick monster. Oh goodness.
You should do that. That is amazing.
How do I do that? What do I do? Tell me what to do.
I think you see bonds.
Is it a bond or is it a companion?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you guys are getting wild. I'm loving this.
you have bonds with companions, so it could potentially be a companion you have a bond with.
And you have a bond with it.
Oh my god!
Is that a recruitment?
Yes, it's a recruitment. You're recruiting should we just call it the holocron, the stillness holocron?
Yes.
Holocron of stillness kind of thing. Yeah, let's do that.
I think as a companion, it might be the Vorlock or the Vorlon people, like the Vorlon emotions, right? Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. When you bond with someone over something you did or shared together, that's forge a bond. But then there's recruit. Let's see. Where's the move for recruit? Where's that one?
Is it
I'm
on
pulling up
Rebellion?
the Fellowship.
Probably Fellowship
other, so we
Rebellion.
can hold on. I'm just trying to find a companion that's close. Because the companion has moves, right?
So under Forge a Bond, the last thing is if you forge a bond with someone outside the Fellowship, they will join your cause as a companion.
There we
so long
go.
as the bond holds.
So you forged a bond with it. So it says record a new bond. Yeah, when you bond with someone over something you did or shared together, record a new bond with them on your sheet. You already had a bond. Don't worry about that if you forge a bond with someone outside the fellowship. Yeah, you just do the thing. That's great. It's actually much simpler than I expected, so that's great. Wild. Wild. I did not see that coming.
What are we naming this thing again? What do we decide it's called?
It's a holocron that has to do with the stillness. So it could be a holocron of stillness, the stillness holocron. What do you prefer? It's your thing, so you can name it.
What about the Vorlock holocron?
Yeah, the Vorin.
The
Holocron.
Vorin. Thank you.
Vorin.
I infected you with my sickness there, Stephen, of calling it a warlock.
Holocron. HOLOCROWN.
There's no W.
Yep.
Okay. Holocron. Okay. I will be. So I think the bond is going to be. I will become a trained rider of the holocron to lead my people. And if I may, throw in one little other snippet scene. I think there's a moment where Darren is going through his lessons with Versi Diamond. Again, she's like, even now it's probably more important than ever for you to learn to be a bit of a proper royal and be more decorous. You've got this thing. And he's just watching her a bit, and I think the words just kind of come off like, what is Oron to you?
Yeah, that if you want truth, you're gonna have to hit a move. Otherwise, she's gonna give you a very
No, yeah, we don't have to
politician non-answer.
Yeah, I think it's a politician non-answer, and Darren just kind of clocks that, in a different, in future scenes, we'll get more deeper into that. But I think it's just we get that snippet moment of Darren trying, learning, speaking, etc.
Yes, I think her answer is along the lines of Oron is a member of the crew, important for all of our people.
Yeah. Darren just clutches his little baby Bjorn holocron closer.
Great.
This thing it's like taped over his heart. Like that is where he keeps it.
Crazy.
Better or for worse.
Love it. Cool. And then I saw Cody in the chat. You had one more?
Yeah, just the one more, and this would also be with Versi. At a certain point, I think the crew. Yeah, most people are asleep. It's the night shift or whatever on the ship, and Oron and Versi are together in his quarters with Freya, and I think they're kind of seated in a triangle, and Oron's has his hand out to the Lothwolf's the scruff of their neck, and he's just kind of holding it, and I don't think Oron lets Versi know about what happened and what he saw, but he kind of, he says, we will return home. We will raise Matos. He will be safe and we will be a family. And then he turns to looks towards Freya. The Lothwolf's eyes kind of glow that bright white blue that we associate with the Force. And he is going to say, tell Freyr to keep an eye on Matos and protect him. We will be home soon. And of course, Freyr is the other Lothwolf, the brother Lothwolf, who kind of is he's with the baby, exactly. And as we all know, of course, all of us know this, Lothwolves can travel between worlds and whatnot. So when Freya disappears, maybe she's going back and checking on him, and then coming back. But yeah,
that's wicked. I am super into that.
Y'all had to leave your 1-year-old baby.
War's hell, Darren. War is hell.
Cool. Are there any other pocket scenes, or should we move to the questions at the end and start wrapping up?
Questions.
All right, question. So if you go to the game reference, did you strike a blow against the Empire or its leaders?
Yeah.
There seems like
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah, for the first time, a legitimate, like hardcore yes. Did you protect the common folk from harm?
Yeah.
I
What's
would
your
argue
main-
yes.
I would agree. You did. You did. Like you made a choice to save people, and I think you did. Good job. Did you learn something new about the Empire and its plans?
Yeah.
Then that is 3 from each yes. You choose one of the following options. Refresh a piece of gear, choose a stat to heal. It doesn't have to be. Each player refreshes a gear to its full value. Each player chooses a stat to heal. It doesn't have to be your own. The Fellowship and Empire each choose a player to level up.
Real quick, I had a question. Is this technically when we filled our belly with Rex, but is that technically recover time or no? Is recover a very specific different thing? The only reason I ask is because I, clear.
It's when you rest in
my-
a place of safety for over a week.
Okay, so we probably weren't there for over a week, so we just filled our belly. Okay.
You can if you want to say like we're gonna be here for a while before we go to Dathomir. Like the travel to Dathomir isn't that long, but we can say that you guys are laying low. But yeah, things will progress.
I think we gotta push on, right?
Yeah, I may have to give that a little bit of a think because I think I know Fellowship is built on travel takes a while as an idea,
Mm-hmm.
and Star Wars is not built on that idea. So
Well,
those
it
two
almost
ideas.
was once, but yeah. Okay, cool.
For now, I'll say if you want to recover, you're going to have to drop out of the rat race for a bit.
Yeah. So in that case, I don't know about anybody else. I do have a use of gear that I would like back, my crystal kyber pendant. So if anybody else also has gear uses used, I would be down. Otherwise,
Yeah, I could use some.
Yeah, well, we'll do one of those.
also it looks, I don't know when this happened. My senses got damaged. When did that happen?
I did
Not
that
the
to invoke the
Right. Okay.
Someone knocked you senseless, is what we're saying.
Right. Well, that certainly did happen.
Cool.
So
That's
one
one of
of our-
3.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the second choice?
Always down for leveling up. I mean,
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
leveling up. Yeah.
Time to his levels ups.
So then, for the first level up, I suggest Oron.
Mm-hmm.
me, I'll
Yeah.
take it. But all right, I'll take it.
And then
I'll
I think, Rich, you have a choice.
I do. Can I level up my baddie? That is my question.
I'm gonna say, yeah,
Better.
can you level up the Dathomir guy?
Chevalsa? Yes, I think you can.
I
Well,
think
Chevalsa,
Just
yes.
making sure is anybody lower level than everyone else?
No, everyone else is 3 right now.
Then Chevels is gonna level.
But then if we do it again,
Then it's 2. Yeah, I'd have to choose one of y'all. And I know who I'll choose. So if you want to do it for your third choice with another level up, you may.
let's do that. And why doesn't Darren level up?
Yeah.
Oh man, you took my choice. Only
Does it make
Darren had more
sense?
power.
Darren, or K, rather,
Yeah.
I'm not speaking to the character.
Just again.
If for your next level up, if you'd like to do a shared force move,
Oh,
that would make
hell
sense, right?
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, let's do a shared force move. I love that. I love that idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna level up Nanta because I, as the Empire, see Nanta as still just a little pipsqueak and not much of a threat, just an annoyance. There you go. Have a level. I don't care.
What was your reasoning for Darren by the Empire? What were you gonna say? Out of curiosity.
Oh, well, the Overlord knows that Darren becoming more powerful means using that holocron and becoming easier to find.
Oh, is it that's easier to find? Oof, spicy, spicy, spicy. Yeah, there
Cool.
you be doing that.
Any other mechanics? Okay. Cool. Then let's go to stars and wishes. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who has wishes? And Cody, if you, as a gentle reminder,
Oh, yep, of course. Yes, I am the transcriber. Hold on, let me
I had
get
to go like transcribe it myself, and it was very hard. It was
let me
very
get my
hard.
my ink quill out and my visor and stoop over my desk. Okay, I'm here to type wishes.
Who's got wishes?
I have a wish I'll throw out real fast since I'm here. I want to see a scene. I want to reunite with my son and have a scene with Versi in the future. Actually, in fact, maybe even some sort of wedding.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. Who else has wishes?
Wish that is both on myself and kind of I could use some pokes. I feel like I am not doing the greatest of using secondary movement stuff, such as like bonds, gears, and other things like that. So that's a bit on myself and other things to try and tap some of that stuff and figure out how to shenanigans there, try and figure out to utilize that more in game. Uh I wanna get bloody and fight. That's the other thing. We've talked about Darren being a batch, he's got judge, jury, and executioner. So I'd love to tap into that a bit.
Sounds good to me.
I want to second all the movement. There's a lot of secondary things and moving parts like bonds and additional moves and all that kind of stuff going on in Fellowship. And I'm feeling some pressure, and I'm not sure. I'm feeling some pressure to do the mechanical things to move forward, but I'm having a really good time doing the role play things to, resolve what's going on. It's one of those things I'm feeling a bit torn.
Yeah, I that you just phrased how I have been feeling very well, Stephen. I tend to be a narrative hoe, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of finicky things here that I'd like to be doing, or I'm not sure if I am doing them. Like, do I like, to boost or do my play that I'm not as versed in.
Okay. Well, maybe with Tyler, the two of us can like help remind next session and keep it forward in our minds.
Speaking of,
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Speaking of mechanical things to remember, whenever we get a new companion, don't we adjust stats?
Do
Like
you?
health.
Oh, wait, this isn't a wish. I don't
Oh,
need to be
yes,
typing
the
this.
Rebellion Forces thing. Yeah. You don't need to
Yeah.
type that up. Yes, when
You bring
you
new recruits or give a companion to the rebellion, they gain 2 health. When you gain health, you gain
intel,
and forces.
great.
Okay. I'm sorry. Whenever we were talking about mechanical stuff, I was like, wasn't there something else? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you for that.
That's
And
good.
good stuff. Good stuff. Excellent. Thank you, Stephen. Any other wishes from you, Stephen? Or shall we
No.
move to Greg? Greg.
Some narrative things. I would love to see what Tezzy has been up to. Right, because we sent Tezzy back to the Empire? Question mark. What did we do with Tezzy?
I thought she was
Yes.
on the ship.
Oh, she's on the ship.
Stephen, help us remember. Tezzy's on the ship, right? You said join us. Or did you send her off to be a spy for you?
Yeah. She is a spy, and
Oh,
she left with the matron.
Okay.
Or wherever that stuff is. I think
Right.
Tezzy was a servant of the matron, so I think Tezzy will be with the matron and will be we should see reports back, or we should interact with Tezzy in some way.
I'm gonna update her little thing, right?
Yeah.
I think I would love to see Chevelsa riding a Rancor on Dathomir. I think
Yes.
that's gotta freaking happen. And I had another one. I would love to sort of. I think this might be more Zygaria, but getting tied up with the bounty hunting guilds. It sounds like bounty hunters are after us. Zop has some pretty tangled past there. And also, I would love to see Dindu Klopta's uncle take a special interest in our bounty because probably according to him, we killed his cousin, his nephew. So just highlight a couple of the threats that are out there.
I want to throw another little wish. I want to see Little Falk.
Yes.
Say that again. What was it?
Oh, I want to see Little Falk. It's the parasite that Zop has.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've got a plan halfway in the back of my brain.
Just
Ah,
like the worm, right?
Just like Little Falk.
I want to add something on. Since I'm gonna guess that we would like to move in the next session directly to Dathomir and get
100%.
things started. Since we're at the flotilla, we can do rebellion moves. And should we look that over and let everyone think about it and then do it at the beginning of next session?
I
Or
think so.
okay,
Probably.
I was going to say we could spend 4 intel right now to discover where a source of power is located and do that on Dathomir, so we now have a plan about where to go. But there are other choices with forces and health, I think, that could be spent. So I don't, we might want to look that over before we get into it. Anyway, that's a wish.
Okay. So
Yeah.
wish is you guys try to work that out next time early on. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it while we keep It's About Life.
Okay. That concludes wishes. Greg, stars?
I loved the what was Oron doing scene, and the twisted past of Oron coming back at the Sith Temple, and the anxiety over exactly what to do with the Sith holocron that's now on board the ship, and that's bad. But destroying it also bad. There's no good thing. It's just bad. So I love that.
Almost like it was trapped in a temple for a reason.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Then Steven.
So to add on to what Greg just said, I love that scene. I love bringing in the Oron son. That was a great reveal, and I got very much the vibes of Luke in the cave. Like, you don't know whether or not this is real or not, and you don't know what's going on. I'm like, that's very, very good. And then other stars are basically, a broad star of all of the things that we did that were like, whenever you opened it up, which is a very smart move. Hey, does anyone have any little pocket scenes?
Those were so good.
Everyone was like, oh yes, I'm going to go do this training. I'm going to go do this thing. And all of those scenes fit so well. And they were great little, in my mind, montage scenes for travel, right? This is some time passes and here's the little bits and pieces we see. That was great.
I agree. Kudos to you guys. Okay. Any stars left out there for you?
1,000,010, of course. Fucking Jesus Christ, Rich. I love family drama and tenseness, and you hit that so well. Like, I think there's literally like a what with like exclamation marks and questions the moment at that reveal. So good. And then just the discussion, like they have yellow eyes, it's Versy's eyes on Oron's face, and now it's the sun, and then the realization they had to leave this like little baby child. So great. And then I just Zop just making the choices, just like the little dagger descriptions, so delicious, Greg. I all I want is Darren to train under all his fierce little friends and become a murder bot. It's so great. That was like such a nice little piece there. I love also sort of the overweaving between both what Oron and Chevelsa wanted for Darren to do versus the path he takes, which is very funny because we really thought this was going to be like an Oron on one side, a Chevelsa on the other, and which does Darren pick? And Darren's like, fuck you, I'd do my own thing. So delicious. Also, again, the little drops of the Versi Oron, so good. Oron, yeah, Oron's discussions. Nanta feeding people makes my heart feel good. Yeah, so fun. Really enjoying this game and enjoy playing with y'all. Indeed, Beaker.
Start a Beaker for being cute.
Yeah, start a Beaker for being cute and start to
help it.
Greg.
I think the food is here. But that's a-okay. Let's go with Cody and stars, and we'll bring things to a close.
Yeah, I mean, seconding the everyone else threw it out already, but that holy shit, Rich, the scene you set up, that is the first thing I come back to after being gone. Is like, I was not ready, and that was wild. And I think it really totally changed my arc for the character that I have in my mind. I'm definitely like, okay, I'm doing something totally different now after that. So that was huge. That was a big start of that. Also, huge stars to everybody at the end there when we were coming up with the bonds and recruitment stuff. The game has cool mechanics, and I'm here for it. And when we latch on to like, oh, let's change the holocron not into an item or a piece of gear, it has bonds. It is like that shit is wild. That's so cool. And
That's
same thing
wild.
with those kind of pocket scenes. Putting those together is great. And also, big old star to Kay, because Kay, you're clutching this holocron, which Cody knows for sure is like, this thing's gonna be evil, and you're like, you don't have that same baggage. So you're just like, yeah, all right, it's a triangle thingy that has like power in it. I hold it because it's about my people. And it's like, yeah, of course you would, because your character doesn't have any concept of what this is. You know what I mean? So it's just so perfect for the rest of us to just be like, oh no, we have it on board. What are we doing? And it's like Darren's like, no, I need to protect this. And you're like, oh. So I don't know, big start of that. It's just such a great dramatic irony that, you know, the audience knows what you're doing is dangerous, and you're like, I must do it. It's the right thing.
I strap it to my heart with a baby Bjorn.
Yes. When you specifically said you hold it tight to your heart, I'm like, oh, this is going bad.
So good. It's so good. Chef's kiss to all the stuff you guys are doing. I really enjoyed today's session. The character interactions were golden, and well, I feel like like the delivery of what to do with the stillness thing was a little choppy on my part, and you guys had to use some moves and a lot of talking to figure out. Once you got to the crux point of, okay, well, now what do we do? That was really engaging and interesting, and I appreciated that. So with that, we will bring this to a close. Thank you guys so much for playing.
Thank you so much.